Welcome back, America. It is hard to believe. I love it, but we are already back in the prime announcement season for politicians who are looking to get elected to local, state, and federal office. Our next guest was termed the unlikely senator when she ran for state office in Nevada and won. And now Elizabeth Helgian is taking on Democrat Congresswoman Susie Lee in 2024. And she joins us now to talk about how she's a mom on a mission to save America. Elizabeth, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
We are so happy to have you on and talk to us about your race. It is a very exciting race that I think we're all going to have our eye on, but give our audience an idea about it.
Yeah, this is going to be a great race. I'm up against the Democrat incumbent, Susie Lee, who we definitely need to get out of office. She shares a lot of the same views as President Biden, who we know is not supporting successful policies. So we need to get her out. It's going to be a targeted race here. It was targeted by the NRCC last election and the election before. So I'm confident it's going to be targeted this election as well.
Yeah, Nevada has turned a lot more red in the last few things. You got a Republican governor now. It was a very close Senate race there. I want to ask about the first couple of months of Kevin McCarthy's speakership, because a lot of these Democrats are on the bubble, have had to take some very painful votes, whether it's on the border, China. Just 24 hours ago, they had a vote on, do you support federal intervention on censorship? Every Democrat stood for censorship, not the First Amendment. How helpful is it, the record of votes that Kevin McCarthy is making a lot of these vulnerable Democrats take right at the start of this new Congress?
Absolutely. It's so important. You know, they haven't had to make those tough votes, but now that we have the majority in the House, now they are. And so we're getting them on record of really what their policy is. They like to sidestep and talk about hot topics, but really what the people care about are the things that we're voting on now and going to be voting on in the future. So it's important to keep and actually expand our hold in Congress.
Yeah, great point.
Elizabeth, as John flicked at a moment ago, GOP governor, your governor there, Joe Lombardo, he was the only Republican governor to unseat a Democrat in the country. He focused his campaign on things like law and order and deregulation, which is so important in a state like Nevada with so much industry. I imagine there are a lot of tactics that his campaign utilized that you would like to mimic and use as a prototype for yours as well.
Absolutely. You know, we really have to talk with voters. That's the most important thing. I know I'm going to leave the strategy up to the strategist, but I'm going to do what I've always done, and that's to reach the people. Because how can we represent the people if we're not talking to them? And the things that I'm hearing from them here in Nevada and really across the country, I've been speaking with people, and we really do have to stay in touch with them and be strong and bold and principled and follow through on our promises. I have a history of doing what I say I'm going to do. When I asked people for their vote and I went into office, and I did the exact same thing. I received 100% rating by the American Conservative Union, and I am very proud of that. I won in a left-leaning district as a conservative, and this congressional district is the same. So I have a history of winning in this district. I have a history of beating incumbents, and so I'm excited to do it again.
At the top of the show, we had Mayra Flores, who obviously created history last year with her win in the South Texas district. She talked about how important it is to engage Hispanics who are increasingly moving to the Republican Party. Nevada's got a large Latino population.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think are the winning messages. What's resonating with voters, particularly Latino voters?
Yeah. Well, what's really important to them and to all of the voters here in Nevada, and I'm speaking with them now, and like I said, even across the country, what's important to them is family, is the economy. And those are the things that people want to talk about. They don't want to talk about, you know, some of the hearings that the Democrats have had. They want to talk about them and how they can feed their families. And they have to make the tough decisions right now if they're going to be able to put food on the table or gas in their tank or be able to heat their home. And so we really need to stay focused on what matters to the voters. And what matters to the voters is the economy and putting food on the table and money in their pockets, and keeping that hard-earned money that they've earned. So I'm definitely going to be staying focused and talking with them and hearing the issues that matter to them. And certainly what I've heard now is all of those things.
Yeah, very
fantastic.
Important.
Elizabeth Helgalian, tell everybody where they can find out more about you and your campaign, how they can support you.
Yes, everyone, please go to my website, elizabeth4nv.com, and make a contribution. We need all the help that we can get to beat this incumbent Democrat. Again, it's elizabeth4nv.com, and make a contribution today. Thank you guys so much.
Elizabeth, great to have you on the show. We're going to be watching this race very closely. It's a bellwether for 2024. Thanks for joining us, giving us an early look at it. All right, folks,
Thanks
that's
so much,
hard to
guys.
believe. It is time to wrap up for the week. This week flew by, Amanda. I don't know where it went. But Monday, we're going to have live coverage of President Trump's speech in Iowa, his first campaign appearance. We'll have a different format show on Monday and then back to our regular program on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. And until then, we're going to leave you in the good hands of our good friend, Grant Stinchfeld. He's up next right after these commercial messages.